Something we haven't talked a lot about lately because we just can't find them in the volume we'd like to anymore is vintage United States proof sets. The sets of coinage made by the government in a special condition for us collectors. And they started doing this in 1950. It's still the #1 collector set they make every year. But now finding some of these vintage sets, well, that's a challenge because who wants to give up the best stuff? So when we can find pockets, we're going to have a good time. And tonight we found the pocket. The first 5 years, San Francisco stepped to the plate. And inside of them, a crazy story. Here we go. So when they introduced proof sets to the American public as a collecting whole, that was 1950. And since then it's evolved into, well, the #1 collector set every year, as I just said. The early issues were all made at the Philadelphia Mint, and that changed in 1964. That was the year Philadelphia gave up the making of proofs. They transferred everything over to San Francisco. So starting in 1968, with this collection right here, San Francisco or S Mint proof sets took place. They still make them today. In 1968, we also introduced what they call the hard pack, which is this beautiful plastic lens protecting the quality, the condition of the strike, so that way it's preserved for generations to come. Over time, the packaging, the color of the outer box has changed. We have seen blue, we've seen black, purple, green. Now there's a multitude of colors the last couple of decades. But it comes down to one thing and one thing only. Proof is a method of manufacture. How they make something. A coin we use in circulation, a circulation strike, is struck once. Slap it and go, right? Proof, method of manufacture, they polish the dies, the front and the back. They also polish the piece of metal, no matter what the denomination, they polish it, and a proof is struck twice, which means you have the ability to just give it that ultra sharp, razored edge, the detail like no other. But on these early San Franciscos, the mirror surface. They didn't start making frosted proof sets until the 1980s. So all these earliers are just complete mirror factors. Anybody done the math yet? $59.95 divided by 5 means we're looking at give or take $12 a set. Today's brand new clad proof set 2025 goes on sale, and what? You're looking at the mid-20s to low 30s based upon what type of set you're looking for. The significance here, twofold. Many of you might know this. For those of you that don't, we pulled silver from coinage, our circulating coinage, in 1964. Kinda. That was the dime and the quarter. We continued making a silver Kennedy half dollar. That ended in 1970. And then starting in 1971, the copper clad or the sandwich coin took over. Well, this set is 68 to 72. That means there are 3 silver coins in these sets. The Kennedy half dollars in these sets are silver. The competition sells just the silver Kennedy, the silver proof, the San Francisco silver proof, as follows: $39.50, $37.50, $39.50. Each, just for the silver Kennedys broken out of these sets. If you have a Kennedy half dollar collection, you need these silver coins to finish it. Again, the big thing is most people didn't realize they were silver. So for just the Kennedys, they're north of 100. We have the full sets and we're under 60 in the original government packaging. And look at the boxes. Beautiful boxes, as if they were made yesterday. And that's just because they're preserved by fellow collectors like yourself. We accumulate over time, and then when we have finally enough to spend 7-8 minutes talking, we're going to do that. It is the set for the American collector. And these are the very first of their kind, San Francisco style. And they're the last of the sets with silver as just part of the regular flow. Now in 1992, they brought back full silver sets again for the 25th anniversary of San Francisco. Whole different story. We'll talk about that later on the show. Great stuff. But firsts are always significant. On a set-by-set basis, my competition has these exact sets. You add them all up, they're at $99.95. So they're $40 more than we are this evening. 40. As I referenced, one of our other competitors that we sold lots of Kennedys against had just the Kennedys broken out of the first 3 sets, the silver sets, for the same crazy price, over $100. Do we have other proof sets? We have them all. We have boxed sets going back to the early 1950s, the poly packs from 55 to 64, San Francisco's, the clad and the silver, you name it. Of the hundreds that have been made over the last 3/4 of a century, I am guessing we have 2 or 3 we don't have, but the rest we do. Check us out, avccoins.com. Look for the tab for proof sets. Love to help you out. And our prices, yeah, they're crazy. We do lots of proof set business. That's why our prices are so attractive. Guys, give me a 30-second clock. $12 a set, and 3 of them have a silver Kennedy. That's just special. The San Francisco cent, nickel, dime, quarter, and $half. 3 silver Kennedys, 71 we started copper clad. The very first sets from San Francisco. Prior to 68 was Philadelphia, so these are San Francisco's firsts. These are also the first sets in these hard plastic lenses. It's just loaded with special stuff, and tonight a very special price. $59.95 brings all 5 to your doorstep. That's a winner.